Hello, hi there. Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael, and I'll be hosting today's webinar, Managing Growth for Your Business. Welcome. Before I get started, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a bit of house keeping. So please do bear with me for a moment. Okay. So this webinar will be recorded. Okay. We sort of muted yourself and turned off your camera. Okay. If you'd like to ask any questions, I would strongly suggest you use the chat box feature instead of raising your hand there. I will check the chat box feature sporadically and see if there are any questions, any queries sort of left in there. Okay. If it's a nice simple question query, I can answer it within the webinar. If it's anything a bit more in depth, okay, I would strongly suggest you book a free session with one of our business advisors, and we can go into it in a lot more detail with yourselves. Okay? So as I said, the webinar is recorded. Okay, you will be sent a link. Okay, once the webinar has finished, that link is, I think it's valid for another, say, 48 hours, I believe, before it sort of disappears, before it becomes invalid. So please do check your junk box. So you will get a copy of the slides. I don't think there are any templates for this webinar. Okay. This is not a CPD certified webinar. I think we're in the process of doing it, okay? But this is not CPD certified. We have many others that are there. So that last point is sort of incorrect there. So please do bear that in mind, okay, when you look back on these slides. Okay? So that's just a bit of housekeeping. This webinar is scheduled to last for about, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour. Again, all depends on how we sort of get along. Okay? So that's the housekeeping. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick introduction to myself, a quick introduction to the company that I work for, and then we'll delve into the ins and outs of the webinar, which is managing growth for your business. So a bit of background information about myself. I graduated with a degree in business and management. First job at university many years ago now, was an accounts assistant where I did year-end accounts for sole traders, for partnership, and for some limited companies. So that included cash, bank reconciliation, VAT returns, self-assessment tax returns, and the general financial bookkeeping for a small business. I then went on to set up various businesses with my family, helped run that for a few years, and then I became a credit officer, a finance officer, and a business advisor. Working with potential entrepreneurs such as yourself in creating business plans, in creating cash flow forecasts, and then submitting that business proposal for startup funding. Hopefully, once they were successful at obtaining startup funding, I also provided them with a mentoring service, just to make sure that they had access to the right information and guidance at that crucial stage of their business. So that brings me over to now here at Wenta, where I am a business advisor. I'm pretty much doing what I've sort of done previously as a business advisor. A bit of information about Wenta. We're a social enterprise, a non-profit organization. We've been in business for 40 years now. So we have two sides to the business. Okay, so one side is the core side. So we either own or manage a few business centres in England. So we have one in Watford, one in Potters Bar, one in Stevenage, and one in Enfield. We rent out office units, office spaces to individuals and businesses alike. We also offer some other paid services, such as a virtual office. So really useful for anybody who wants to set up a limited company, don't want to put down their home address as a registered address. They want to keep that private. We have a virtual office. It is a subscription fee. You pay X amount per month, and you can get your letters, your packages, your parcels sent to here. We can answer the telephone in the name of your business, for example, give you a call to let you know to come down to pick up any postage or parcels, or we can sort of scan any letters to you. Okay. We also offer other services, for example, a net zero service. So really useful for people who want to set up greener businesses, produce greener products, greener sort of services. This is a tiered service. So the first level is bronze. Okay, that is a free service that we provide, a bit of a taster for yourself. Okay, and then you can advance to silver, gold, gold plus. Those subscriptions you'll need to pay fixed amount per month, i.e. subscription base. Okay, each stage unlocking new tools, new webinars, new information. At the end of all of those levels there, get a nice little graphic that you can put onto your online presence. to say that, yes, I am net zero conscious. Might be the difference between securing a contract or securing a client or a customer then. We also offer something called savings. Okay, so we have partnered up with a number of organizations or individuals out there to provide a discount to anybody purchasing their products or services by our website. So for example, we've got a nice little partnership with Tide. Okay, anybody setting up a Tide bank account by our website, Tide will deposit £50 into your account there. We have some partnerships with a few website development individuals and companies and consultants. Again, if you obtain their services by our website, they can offer you a discount that you wouldn't normally get if you went straight to them. Okay, so that's the core side of the business. So any money that gets generated from that side gets plowed back into the business to allow us to do the second side, which is we offer free business advice, support, and guidance there through one-to-one webinars, over the phone, in person. If you live next to one of our centres, you can pop in and arrange a face-to-face, or we can do it by online, like Zoom, as we are doing now. We also offer free webinars, this being one of them. We also partner up with other individuals and other businesses that offer free webinars. So for example, we partner up with Google on a number of related business-related sort of subjects. So if any of those things interest you, please do look at our website, spend say 10, 15 minutes, half hour on it, just navigating it and see if any of our services are of interest to you. Like I said, some of them are paid, some of them aren't. Okay, so that is Wenta in a nutshell. So there are some learning objectives on today's webinar. So hopefully by the end of this webinar, okay, you can explain the distinction between self-employment and business ownership. Select, evaluate, interpret, and use information from the different sources to identify and implement suitable systems for record keeping for your operations, for monitoring and evaluation. Apply the specific terms, theories, and concepts, okay, that we're going to discuss in this webinar, okay, to see how it can help you oversee your business functions, okay, and get other people involved maybe, okay. Show knowledge and understanding of the compliances of outsourcing and to undertake hiring to enable expansion, okay. Present a conclusion about the principles of and options for workflow and project management. Consider some of the options for devising and recurring income, revenue streams for yourself, replicating core provisions through licensing, franchising, and other business ventures. Okay, so this is pretty much, to be completely honest with you, an introduction to managing your growth of your business. Okay, to be honest with you, there's only so much we can cover it in an hour. Okay, hopefully after this webinar, we can point you in the right direction, give you a bit of guidance, give you a bit of food for thought. Okay, then it is down to you to, in a sense, go away, do your own research, see what doesn't work well, see what does work well, and discussing it with one of our business advisors if sort of needed. Just a bit of guidance, a bit of a soundboard really for yourself, just to make sure that you are on the right track. Okay. So this is what we hope to cover in today's webinar. Okay, so I'm going to read through it quickly, and as we delve into the ins and outs of the webinar, hopefully we'll be able to go into a lot more detail. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the principles of growth and managing it. Okay, self-employed or running a business. The third rule, 3 roles, functions, and processes. Again, we'll talk about that later on in the webinar. Procedures and the operations manual. I'll have to admit, not procedures and operations manual. It all depends on how big your business is, how complicated your business is as well. Okay. Obviously, the bigger your business, the bigger your business operations, the longer your processes will be, the bigger your operations manual will be as well. We're also going to talk about the importance of systems, okay, and scaling, okay, outsourcing support and staffing issues. We're going to be talking about business models and workflow, okay, and we're also going to talk about action and planning, okay. So again, this is what we hope to cover in today's webinar. All right, then. So here, first, sort of a few slides, we're going to be talking about principles of growth, okay, and what you need to take into consideration if it applies to you, okay. It's all about, in order to grow a business, okay, to make it more desirable, okay, to be more creative maybe, and to get financial freedom maybe, okay, you need to look at ways of how you can grow your business, okay, what sort of assets your business has, okay, how much time, effort, money do you have to invest in your business in order to expand it, in order to grow it, in order to evolve it, okay? Because if you're not looking at ways to expand your business, okay, you might be happy in a sense, sort of plodding along, just getting down to it, okay, not bringing in much income, just doing enough to survive, okay? If you're aiming for that, great, fantastic, if it works for you, okay? If you do want to grow the business, become more profitable, earn more money, reach more people, for example, you need to start looking at ways you can grow your business. And to grow your business, it is all about time, it is all about effort, and it is all about money at the end of the day. Okay? But at the moment, at the beginning stages, okay, you need to take a step back, look at your business. Okay? What is my business? Okay? What am I offering? What can I offer, for example? Okay, so you're looking at things such as intellectual property. Okay, do you have a brand? Okay, do you have the know-how, okay, to help others? Do you have that design process, that product that is unique to the market, that is protected? Okay, I can build on new patterns. Okay, I can come up with new logos, new branding, for example. Okay, little spin-offs that you can do, different revenue streams in a sense there, okay? But if you are doing those spin-off, those revenue streams, do I need protection, okay? Again, it all depends on what sort of business that you are, okay? You need to build a business model as well, okay? Scaling your activities, okay, using that model, okay? How are you gonna grow your business? Okay, so you might have a small, let's say, for example, you might have a small sole trader business. Okay, just say, for example, I'm a tradesman, or sorry, I'm a gardener. Okay, I do a bit of gardening, planting plots, planting greens, do a bit of guttering, maybe. Okay, so that's my business model. Nice, simple, sole trader. It is just me. Okay, but now I want to scale up my activities. Okay, maybe I was just concentrating on my local area. Okay, now I want to concentrate north, west, south, for example. Okay, I want to scale up. I want to invest new tools. Okay, I want to buy a bigger vehicle so I can handle more tools. Maybe I'm going to be offering landscape gardening in the near future. Okay, again, addressing what you can do now and where you want your business to go. And it's always a cost involved in that as well. There. Okay, so it's not about, oh yes, I want to grow my business. Great, fantastic. Okay, how much will it all cost? Which we're going to discuss a little bit later as the webinar sort of progresses there. Okay. You also want to look at your the stock market, your portfolio investments. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's private or public investment. If you're buying into a business, taking over an existing business, and this is what sort of high net worth individuals do. This is what business angels do. This is what sort of venture capitalists do. Okay, they're investing in other people's business. They're buying a share of other people's businesses in order for them to grow their portfolio. Okay, to grow their market share. Okay, so for example, a company that I used to work for a good few years back, okay, we had an IT provider. Okay, management for, okay, why are we paying this IT provider X amount? Why don't we buy that IT company, bring it in-house? It will be cheaper. Okay, and also we will offer IT support not just to our company but to external companies as well. Okay, so again, that's how you grow your business, taking over new businesses, offering new products, new services, okay? Buying that business, investing into it in order to have offshoots. Okay? You might want to think about buying property, okay, in order to grow your business. Okay, so we're talking about, you know, bricks and mortar. Okay, either it be buying, renting, selling. Okay, for the long term, okay, but I would say if you are sort of buying that property, investing into that property, bricks and mortar, it does cost a bit of money. You need a bit of finance behind you, okay. And sometimes the sort of the positive of it all, okay, you might not be able to see it sort of short term, but in the long term, hopefully you will. Okay, so these are sort of various ways you can sort of look at your business, see how you can sort of grow it. there is a degree of risk in all of these things. Okay, so for example, intellectual property, yes, you might want to protect your brand. Okay, come up with a new design process, whatever it may be. Okay, you might need to pay for an IP specialist, an advisor, for example. Okay, you might want to buy that business, okay, or incorporate it into your existing business. You might need to hire financial advisors, business consultants, for example. Okay, you might want to explore different options with them. Okay, that will take time, that will take effort, and if they're billing by the hour, for example, that will cost at the end of the day. Okay, so just a few things to address when considering how to grow your business, how to expand your business, because you don't want your business to stagnate. Okay, again, if that is what you want, again, you could be, okay, I just want to run this business for 5 years. So excuse me, just want to run the business for 5 years. You know, I just want to earn enough to get by, get on. In 5 years time, I'm going to retire. I'm going to move on to something else. I just want to make it profitable so I can just sort of sell it on, and they're not looking to sort of grow it. That is absolutely fine. So, okay, it's entirely up to you, sort of your mindset, what you want to do with the business. So if your venture isn't sort of growing, okay, there might be several reasons why that is, okay, and we're going to tackle those issues during this webinar, okay. But if you want to speak to a business advisor, a one-to-one session, we can talk about business planning, cash flow, profit margins, marketing, and sort of so on from there, okay. So this, as you can see on the screen here, okay, this is a Japanese concept. I'm not too sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Ikigai, okay. Don't take my word for that, okay, but I believe it's Ikigai, okay. Again, just look at, if you want to grow your business, this is a concept, okay, things for you to sort of look at, okay. Again, taking a step back, looking at your business, okay, and asking a few questions, okay. Understanding, okay, why. Okay? What is the purpose of your business? What is the meaning of your business? What is the direction of your business? Okay, so there is some overlap. Okay, so you see all these big circles around here. Okay, this concept, okay, again, is the meaning of the reason for being. Okay, so for example, let's just say you've got a great business idea, you've got a product, you've got a service. Okay, the reason why you set up the business, or going to set up this business, for example, okay, or providing this service product already, is because you love it. Okay, you love it, okay, you're very passionate about it, so there's a bit of overlap between there. Okay, so that's great. You got this product, you got this service, you love it, you're passionate about it. Okay, but how are you going to deliver that to your clients, to your customers? What's your mission sort of statement there? Okay, so this says this is overlap between everything. Okay, and again, how are you gonna how are you gonna monetize it at the end of the day as well? Okay, so it's great that you've got this product, this service, you're very passionate about it, but what you can be paid for? Okay, are people willing to pay for this product, pay for this service? So, for example, if I was an artist, okay, most people that are artists are very creative, very passionate about what they do. Okay. Yeah, they do a painting, for example, they do some clay pots, whatever it may be there. I love it, passionate about it. However, would I be able to sell it? Okay, can I monetize it? Like I said there. Okay, so these are all things that you need to sort of take into consideration, okay, when you're coming up with a business, when you want to grow your business. Okay, so you need to plan for growth. Okay, what are you aiming for? Okay, if what you're aiming for is to be happy, okay, then great and fantastic. Okay, how does that story end at the end of the day? Okay, again, as I said sort of previously, I'm selling my artwork. Okay, I want to sell it for sort of 5 years, build up a bit of a brand for myself, build up a bit of a reputation. Okay, and I want to exit it after 5 years, earn my money, retire on a yacht somewhere, retire in my villa in Spain, sort of somewhere. Or am I growing that business? Okay, grow it to a certain extent, then I'll sell it on to another person, okay? Or I sell it on to friends and family. I'll pass it on to friends and family. Okay, you're also looking at sort of marketing as well. okay, what works, what sort of doesn't work there, okay, what the world needs, okay. So we're talking about, in a sense, loosely about the customer profile, okay, what the world needs, what's your market, okay. Is there a product, is there a service, is there a gap in what people need, okay. Are you any good at it, okay, can you provide it, for example. Okay, these are all things that you need to sort of look into. So in a sense, to sort of summarize this sort of framework, I will say you're looking into the desirability, feasibility, and viability of your business. It doesn't matter if you're at a growth stage or if you're about to set up a business as well. Okay? And you also need to think of strategy as well. Okay, there's no point you having a really good product or a really good service, or thinking about providing a really good product, a really good service. Okay, if you're not strategizing, okay, how would I get my product and service to market? Okay, how much are people willing to pay for it? Okay, again, I might be very confident in my artwork. Okay, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. Okay, I've identified a little gap in the market. It's great. If your clients and customers don't find out about you, okay, no matter how great your products or services are, they're never going to buy something off you at the end of the day. If you're not filling in that need, for example. Okay, so again, this is just sort of one sort of framework that you can potentially sort of work towards. We do other frameworks as well in our other webinars. So you're looking at a SWOT analysis, you're looking at a PESTEL analysis. Okay, so please to attend those webinars if sort of needed. I think we cover it in the business planning webinar. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're just going to talk about self-employment, busyness, or running a business. Okay, so if when you stop, okay, is that when the money stops at the end of the day? So again, if you're setting up as a self-employed person, a sole trader, it's just you. Okay, more than likely, if you are set up as a sole trader, you're a one-person band at the end of the day. Okay, so what happens is, just say if you fall ill, if you decide to go on holiday, if you decide that you need to attend a dentist appointment, go to a doctor's appointment, you know, something around that, if it's only you, if you stop, the business stops at the end of the day. Okay, so it's sort of that finding a right balance. Okay, more than likely you're doing sort of 45 hours plus hours working on the business per week there. Okay, you need to find a balanced approach, balanced lifestyle for yourself. Okay, because you don't want to be too stressed at the end of the day. Okay, because if you become stressed, if you stop, the business sort of stops there. So again, you need to look at the business. Okay, am I able to get a business partner? Maybe get some friends and family able to help me. Maybe a friend, a family member could fill in for me for a few hours while I'm doing that dentist appointment. Okay, as long as that friend or family, that person knows how to sort of run the business, the ins and outs of it. Okay, if the business is very dependent on yourself, like I said, if you stop, the business stops there. Okay, you need to think about for how long could the business run without you. Okay, so again, it might not just be you. You might have some staff members. You might have subcontractors. Just say again, if I was a gardener, okay, I might have staff. I might use subcontractors there. Okay, I might disappear for 2 weeks, go on holiday. Okay, but again, if I'm off for any more time than that, okay, can I rely on my staff? Can I rely on those subcontractors to help run that business, for example? Okay, so again, just to give you another quick example of this. Again, many years ago, when I worked in a financial firm, we had 2 business partners, okay, 2 business directors, okay, overseeing 300 clients and businesses. One of the directors flew out to his home country. Then the Icelandic volcano, I think it was Iceland at the time, or a volcano sort of blew up, spewing out lots of smoke. He couldn't travel back from where he wanted to travel back from, back into the UK. All air travel was suspended. Okay, he only scheduled in a 2-week break period. Okay, he ended up being away for about a month. Okay, so in that sense, who would deal with his clients? Okay, because every day, employees, i.e. us, were handing in accounts that needed his review or needed him to sign off on. Okay, but lucky he had a business partner that could sign off on off his accounts on his behalf because they were both qualified accountants, for example. Okay, so he had that business partner to help him out. Okay, if he couldn't fly back for a month, then the business comes to a standstill at a month. It hit a bottleneck, for example, so he needed to come back eventually. Okay, so you're addressing little issues like this, just thinking about what in your mind. Okay, what happens to me? Can people fill in? Can people not? What are the benefits of hiring someone, not hiring someone, for example? Okay, again, these are all things that you need to sort of look at there. So this is just a sort of quick graph, okay, a bit of statistics, okay, for yourself, okay. So this is from the Office of National Statistics, published in 2021, okay. This trend has sort of roughly remained constant for the last 25 years. Okay? So there are about 32 million people that work in the UK. Okay? There are 5 million businesses. A large majority of those 5 million businesses, approximately sort of 75%, are one-person operation, a one-man band in a sense, just one person. Okay? Roughly about 20% have between 1 and 9 staff. Okay? Less than 3% have 10 to 49 employees. Okay? And 1% have 50 plus personnel. Okay? And only around 5,500 are corporations. There are about 250 of them out there. Okay? But they hire a lot more people. Okay, so that little sliver there, not sure if you can see it right there, I believe it is. Okay, that is the corporations. Okay, those are the corporations that hire 250 people or more. They're a very small part of the business, of the sort of economy sense. Okay, again, 75% are one-person operations, okay, which is here the self-employed saying. Okay, even though that is the largest proportion, doesn't necessarily mean that they bring in the most money. Okay, so again, just something to sort of think about. Okay, so again, this is just some general statistics to allow you to give you an idea of what the state of the sort of UK economy is, what the growth statistics are, what the business statistics are there. Okay. So here we're going to be talking about a third rule for profit. This is okay. So in order to strive, in order to grow beyond the survival mode, okay, your annual net profit, okay, profits before earnings, before interest, before taxes, depreciation, okay, you should ideally align yourself with the third rule. Okay, so this is a rule of thumb. Okay, this is just a principle. It's not a statutory obligation. And for yourself, okay, so it doesn't matter if you're a sole trader, if you're a partnership, if you're a limited company, okay, or any other business structure, you want to, in a sense, distribute your profit in these sort of 3 ways. Okay, so you want to the business hopefully is generating a profit to begin with. Okay, otherwise, you know, this doesn't sort of make much sense there. Okay, but the profit at the end of the day, okay, you want to be generating enough profit to pay off your taxes. Okay, your national insurance, corporation tax, okay, VAT, okay, whatever it may be, your business expenses, your employees, fixed rate, your variable costs. Okay, so you need to pay off that. Okay, you need to take a bit of money for yourself, okay, because at the end of the day, you're not doing this for free. Okay, you need to be compensated for your time at the end of the day. Okay, and the profit generated, it needs to be enough to reinvest into your business before the end of your tax accounting period, okay, in order to grow your venture. Okay, you could grow your venture, i.e. capital-wise, finance-wise, by obtaining loans, by obtaining sort of overdrafts, okay, credit cards, equity investments, okay, when you sell a part of your business to an investor, if they are interested, for example. Okay, you can finance growth that way, okay, but again, there's a level of risk involved in that. For example, if you're taking out loans to grow your business, sometimes it is needed, but you're paying off more interest in the long run. Okay, so if it's coming out of your profits instead, you don't need to borrow that money. Okay, you can just reinvest into the business, even if it's something simple as buying a new computer, okay, a more powerful computer, buying more licensing on the software, okay, to allow you to run bigger programs, stronger programs, more powerful programs. The quality of your product is much more significant, okay, compared to that if you weren't investing in those machinery. Okay, again, I could be investing in machinery Okay, I could be a cake maker. I'm investing in a new oven. This oven can cook 10 cakes instead of my old oven that can only cook 4 cakes. Okay, I can meet more demand. I can sell more cakes if my customer base is there, for example. Okay, again, I could be a tradesman. I want to buy a bigger truck. To accommodate more materials, take on a few more jobs. I want to get a subcontractor. Okay, I want to hire an employee, full-time or part-timer. I want to hire a marketing consultant, a social media consultant to manage my website, to manage my social media, for example. Okay, because if you don't redistribute your profit, okay, you take half for yourself, half to pay the business expenses. That's it. There's nothing left to reinvest. You stagnate. Okay, so if you are looking to sort of reinvest in the business, it's all about planning. Okay, reviewing your profit planning. See if you are generating the profit. Hopefully, where is that profit best investing? Again, into its employees, hiring employees, subcontractors, into its systems, into its machineries, for example. Okay, again, you are in the best seat to make that sort of judgment. Only sort of because you will know the ins and outs of your business. So here, over the next sort of few slides, we're going to be looking at roles, functions, and processes. Okay, so I'm going to address all of these on an individual basis. Okay, but this is all about you, yourself, okay? You being a business owner. Okay, this is still a mindset that you should be in. Okay? So this is 3 versions of yourself. Okay, so again, we're going to go over this over the next sort of few slides. Okay, so roles there. Okay, we're going to look at functions, and we're going to look at processes there. Okay, slide by slide. But here we're going to look at a mindset first. Okay, so roles. Okay, and there are 3 different mindsets. Okay, again, a version of yourself. Okay, so first of all, technical, hands-on. So this is where we talk about the present moment. Okay, in a sense, you being that machine. Okay, you might be known as a very technical, hands-on approach to doing a job, to running a business, getting the job done. You might be very task-orientated. Okay, with this mindset, about 50% or more of the working day, you're spent thinking about the present day in that moment. Okay, so again, I'm a gardener. Okay, I'm going to do the gardening. I'm doing the guttering. Okay? Hands-on, physical, manual labor. Okay, I'm very focused on that one job at a time. Okay, I do that job, I do that job, I do that job. Or I can be a marketing consultant. I'm working on one big project. All my time, all my effort, I do everything for that project. Okay, the graphics, the slides, the content, the research, very hands-on, very technical. Okay, so I'm in on the moment there. Okay, so before starting your venture, okay, for example, this could be you formally, okay, when you're under PAYE, working for someone. Okay, they're very task orientated. Okay, you're very much concentrated on that one task. Okay, but as you become a business owner, yes, you might be still in this mindset where you are focused on the present, and it might be a habit for yourself as well. Okay, you know, sort of a sleeves up approach that could be you. Okay, but you need to think about the future as well. Okay, because again, it's all about growing your business. You don't want to stagnate. Okay, you don't want to come to a standstill at the end of the day. Okay, so this could be one version of yourself. Okay, another version of yourself is it's all about you managing the process. Okay, so this maybe in the past, not so much sort of now. Okay, so you might have been a manager, a sort of supervisor there. You might have experienced it. You might have seen others do it. Okay, if you do have that experience or that preference, okay, you want to assert your managerial side of things. Okay, that analytical side of things, an analytical approach to you running the business, growing the business. Okay, so this is the part of the job that you aren't too fussed about doing the do, i.e. those you leave to the technical people. Okay, you're in a mindset, okay, of sort of hands on your hips, saying, yeah, okay, what about this? What about that? What about this? Okay, 50% of your working day, if you're in this mindset, okay, you're focusing on the past in a sense, okay, what has already happened. Okay, and that is a distinction about what is actually happening sort of now. Okay, so in other words, you're more concerned with making things run smoothly, okay, efficiently, profitably. Okay, looking at you're doing an analyst of the data. Okay, you're looking at the workflows, identifying any bottlenecks, organizing that really dynamic working environment. Okay, focusing your efforts on people management. Okay, you might be thinking of, for example, oh, maybe I can outsource that. Okay, more than you sort of doing it yourself. Okay, I've seen people do it in other businesses. I've experienced it while I was working on the PAYE, for example. Okay, however, you also need to guard against sort of micromanaging. Okay, standing over with your hips on your shoulder, looking over your sort of empire, your business operations, and there. Okay, that might create people problems if you're micromanaging, not giving your business the freedom, okay, to expand. Okay, get collective ideas in, debating ideas. Okay, because if you're too sort of focus orientated, okay, you might not be able to see the big picture there. Okay, you're stuck in tunnel vision at the end of the day. Okay, so making sure that you're developing yourself, okay, developing your people in a sense as well. Okay, looking at the bigger picture where sort of possible. Okay, because if you're micromanaging, you're not taking it in other people's opinion, your way or the highway, they will alienate your employees. Okay, they will alienate your stockholders, the people you partner up with, the people that you collaborate with as well, and that would demotivate them. Another version of yourself. Okay, this is the creative side of you, entrepreneurship in you. Okay, you're looking more for into the future. Okay, so this is the part where you have all the passion, all the enthusiasm to start your business, to grow your business. Okay, you might be already trading. Okay, this is the part of you that you've got a lot of ideas, lots of things that you want to do. You're impatient to grow. Okay, this is your typical working day, for example. Okay, this part of you has little interest about the sort of hands-on, about doing the job, about the task management. Okay, you're not really bothered about the sort of admin side of things, about the detailed analysis. Okay, some people just wing it in a sense. I'm not suggesting that you do that. Okay, for example, you might want to go to the pub or whatever. Okay, and then you do all your creative thinking there. Okay, you have dreams, you have a passion there, and you sort of get going. Okay, 50% of your time, if you're in this mindset, okay, is that you're thinking about the future. Okay, you don't have to be a maths genius to work out that sort of 50% plus 50% plus 50%. These three different mindsets comes up to over 100% there. Okay, but again, this is why most owner managers struggle to grow a business, because they're divided between these mindsets. Okay, there's a bit of conflict with each and others. You can't do it all at the end of the day. Okay, you can't micromanage there. You can't be the technical hands-on person, okay, without looking at the vision of where you want to grow your business, where you want the business to be at the end of the day. So it's good where possible it's all about time management as well. Okay, you need to know at which stage of the business in your mind that, okay, I used to be technical, I used to be hands-on, okay, now I need to look to the future. Okay, I'll hire someone in, okay, and I will manage them, I will supervise them, which moves you onto the next mindset. Okay, now I don't want to be too micromanaging. I want to give my client, my employees freedom, okay, to be creative, to come with me at ideas. Okay, and that is where the entrepreneurship comes in. Okay, I'm looking for spin-offs, different revenue streams for my business. I'm looking to grow my business now. Okay, from my existing business model that I started a few years back. Okay, I'm now looking to again overtake a business, okay? Offer new product, offer new sort of services. Okay, so your mindset will evolve over these three things. Okay, and there might be some jumping back and forth between them until we find that, again, it's all about finding the right balance. Okay, because if you're too stuck at the end of that spectrum, okay, say creative and entrepreneurship, okay, you might forget on how you used to do things hands-on. You might forget about the plights of the factory workers, ground floor workers, for example. You might be detached from them. Okay, so again, all about sort of finding the right balance, the right interactions between these all roles there, okay, and how you can play these roles effectively. Okay. So here we're going to talk about the three functions. So I already spoke about the roles here. Okay, you might want to come up with a draft business plan, for example. Okay, write your statement of intent. Okay, what you want to do, how you can get from A to B, for example. What is the narrative? Okay, tell a story for yourself how you're going to get there. So we're now going to be looking at the sort of the functions. Okay, the elements which every sort of business venture sort of needs. Okay? So sorry, that's just the same slide there. So functions. Okay, so we're looking at three functions again for finance, that is. Okay, so we're talking about finance, operation, and sales. Okay, so we're going to go look at finance first. Okay, so these tasks, think about these tasks as transferable. Okay, so you don't have to do these tasks yourself. Okay? Where possible, can pay someone to do it for you. Okay, you can use tools, you can use software, for example. Okay, so when we talk about finance, we're talking about the sort of the day-to-day. Okay, you might think of any sort of additional ones, but for the moment, we're just concentrating on finance. Okay, so for example, you could do the accounts and bookkeeping yourself. Okay, again, you're very hands-on. Okay, you might have the know-how to do it, okay? Or you might not. You might get someone else to do it. Friend, family, employees, subcontractor, bookkeeper, an accountant. You might be paying people to do all of this. Okay, or it might be elements. Okay, you might do the cash flow forecasting yourself on the day-to-day. You might do the credit control day-to-day. You might do the invoicing day-to-day. However, my bookkeeper, my accountant will do the year-end accounts. They will work out my taxes. They'll plan my taxes. And they will work out my sort of payroll. I've just got to ensure that there is enough money coming in to the business. Okay, so this is one function of your business model. Okay, the second function, okay, is operations. Okay, so again, you might think that you are aware of others, okay, and what applies to other people's ventures there, but you're looking within your own venture. Okay, what are your support functions? Okay, how are you going to make it all happen? Okay, how does it all fit in with one another? Okay, again, you might be a one-person band, but as you grow your business, okay, you might have a back office admin staff. You might have a HR department, an IT department. Okay, you might want to outsource that, okay, or you might want to bring it in-house. Okay, you're thinking about the logistics of your supply chain. Okay, IT, again, HR, procurement. Okay. All the big corporations, all the big businesses have several departments. Okay, HR, they have IT, they have customer relations, client services, for example. Okay? You might want to do that where applicable for your business. Okay, you can't manage it all at the end of the day. You've got to rely on those, in a sense, functions, cost centers. Okay, that's another term. Okay, again, you need to invest into your operations in order to grow your business. So here we're going to talk about sales. Again, function, okay, finance, operation, and sales. These make up your business at the end of the day, okay, the day-to-day, whatever it may be. And when we're talking about sales, we're talking about advertising. We're talking about activities, promotion, customers. Okay, you need to generate sales in order to generate activity in the other functions. Okay, for example, you need, if you're making sales, making profit from the sales, so you can pay your staff, i.e. finance. Okay, you need to be making sales in order to generate that profit, in order to pay for the different operations of your business at the end of the day. If you haven't got that activity, that would affect the different functions of your business. Not making enough sales, not bringing in enough customers. Okay, I need to cut back on my operation. Okay, get rid of some employees. Make do with some subcontractors, for example. Okay, I can no longer afford this system, okay, this database, this CRM system, wherever it may be. Okay, so you're looking at these functions, three functions of your business. Okay, and you should get into the mindset of addressing these issues as well. Okay, so there we've looked at roles before, we've looked at functions. Okay, now we're going to look at processes, okay, three processes. Okay, in a sense, it's a way of structuring, okay, of doing things more efficiently, I would say. Okay, so the first process is what. Okay, what exactly do I do with my day? Okay, in each role, in each function, what is my day to day? Okay, define it. Okay, so what you do in each role, in each function, what you do, okay, have you drifted from your core messaging, from your core statement, okay? So if you recall from earlier in the sort of webinar, we outlined what you will do, what you already do, financing, operations, and sales. So it's important to precisely set out, okay, what the functions are of your business, okay? So I gave some examples sort of previously, okay? And so you need to be thorough at the end of the day. You've got to address that. What do I do with my day exactly? So this second process, okay, this mindset of how, okay, then you need to start looking at how to do it, and it is down to you. Okay, you need to being able to describe what you do and what your business does. Okay, it isn't quite the same as describing how you do it or what it is that you want to be done at the end of the day. So again, be thorough. Okay, this time you might want to do sort of a step-by-step specifically to your circumstances about the way of sort of doing things. So the last process is why. Okay, so when you're looking at the why in each role and each function, okay, why do I do it that way? Is there a better way of doing it? Okay, so you know the drill. Okay, in each of your roles, in each of your functions, you need to reflect on how things are done in a particular way. Can you make improvements on there? Is there a better way of doing things? Okay, what is the rationale of you doing it this way? Is there a case for you to do it another way, a better way, maybe? Okay, again, developing, evolving your systems, your processes, your mindset as well. Okay, that will hopefully motivate you, okay, and address certain ways you can grow your business. Okay, when the time comes, you don't want to expand your business and grow your business too quickly. There, in that case, the business operations will run away from you on a day-to-day. Okay, and bottlenecks will start to happen. You're spending more money than you should be. Issues will occur. Okay, so it should be a natural progression as you go through these mindsets, as you go through these roles, these functions, these processes as well. Okay, and there are two more sort of processes, additional questions, okay, that you need to be sort of addressing as you sort of go along. Okay? So we sort of addressed them already, but for example, why? Okay, again, is there a better way of doing it? If there is a better way of doing it, what is the cost of doing it? Okay, so again, I might be writing everything out by hand at the moment. Okay, maybe the better way of doing it is investing in a software, in an app where I can get all of this online, where I can do it all digitally. Okay, that is great. That is fantastic. Okay, save me a hell of a lot of time there. Okay, but again, I might need to pay for that software, pay a subscription fee. Okay, do I need to upgrade to another version? Okay, can my computer? Do I have a computer? Okay, can my computer, existing one, be powerful enough to run that software, to run that system? Okay, so again, there's always a cost involved in everything that you do for your business, to grow it, to expand it. Okay, you're always looking forward where possible, okay, and not looking to regress there. Okay, you might have to downsize for a while, okay, but then when the economic conditions are right, then you expand. Okay? So here we're going to look at this is pretty much what I just sort of said over in the previous slide there. Okay? Is there a better way of doing things? Looking at your roles, looking at each of the functions, what it will cost yourself, what it will cost the business at the end of the day. So make sure you plan for that. Okay. Don't go into it, okay, I just want to buy a new system. Okay. Is it affordable to the business? Okay. If you're investing in that business, how much money can I bring in? So again, just a quick example. When I used to work in accounts, my directors decided to up and move office into a completely new area. Okay, they worked out. Okay, how many clients would we potentially lose? Okay, if we were to move from one premises to another. Okay, this new premises that we're in, rents are lower. Okay, there are new businesses that we can target, that we can hopefully make up for the loss of people that were with us previously, that like coming to the office in central London, for example, will move outside of central London. Okay, there's better parking as well. Okay, they save themselves a lot of money on rent and parking. My employees get to park there as well, okay, where previously they didn't. Okay, it's easier to find. Public transport is slightly sort of better. It's not as busy. Okay, so again, weighing up the sort of the pros and cons. Yes, I want to up and move office. How much would it cost me? What are my savings? Okay. So Here's where we talk about procedure. Okay, and I'll be honest with you, you might not, this is sort of a flow chart. Okay, there are plenty of templates out there, but this is just to give you an idea. Okay, you're looking at step by steps. Okay, you're writing out a step-by-step plan of your day-to-day. Okay, so for example, you could be add client. Okay, if I've got a new client in, what do I need to do? I need to log them into the system, put them into the dashboard, create a new client list. Okay, if I need to add a case, okay, I need to add a client record. I need to complete the sections there. Again, you're doing a step by step. Okay, what is happening, the decision making, okay, and the action. What is the outcome of it? Okay, to be honest, all the big corporations do it. Where I used to work as a business advisor, they had a step by step plan that we could follow. Okay, so got a new client in, I go down that route. Okay, withdrawing the client, I go back down there. Okay, what happens if it's an existing client? Okay, go down this route, a step-by-step plan. Okay, so in a sense, a bit of robotic, I would say, think of it as a client journey. So anybody picking up this flow chart, this procedure manual, or ops manual, which we're going to discuss over the next slide. Okay, even if it's a new employee with a little bit of training, they should be able to follow that process and get the client, get the product or service from A to B. Okay, and this process, this procedure manual, operations manual, will evolve over time. Okay, where I used to work, again, we revised that operations manual, okay, 4 or 5 times, okay, but by the time that I left, okay, and I'm sure they have revised it, version 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, whatever it may be. Okay, so the operations manual, this is a proven approach by franchisers, by licensors, larger ventures there, particularly in the manufacturing industry. Okay, classic example, big companies there. Okay, they might have a high staff turnover. Okay, so as soon as that new person comes in with a bit of training, like I said, they can follow that process, follow that manual, get it from A to B there. Okay, so this is beyond sort of policy statements, beyond your objectives, mission sort of statements there. This actually sets out, okay, step 1, procedure 1, protocol 1, protocol 2 there. Okay, so this forms the basis of a job role, of your job description, of a person's specification. So you might have seen it when you applied for a job. There'll be a basic personal specification that would be taken from the operations manual. Okay, hardly anybody sort of reads a long-winded instructions there, so you've got to make it easy. Put some images in there, just break up the text a bit more. Okay, some people are starting to use audio and video clips and animation to get that point across on how to sort of do the day-to-day for the business. Okay, so if you are thinking about creating a operations manual, keep it fresh, keep it up to date. Okay, review it, okay, with other people, as long as it is confidential. Okay, address it sporadically. Okay, maybe twice a year, maybe every quarter. Okay, or when changes need to be made. So here we're going to discuss really briefly the systems that you need to put in place to hopefully help you, okay, operate the business, grow the business where needed. Okay? Again, you might be doing all this by hand at the moment. Okay? You want to see if there are procedures, systems in place that you could use in order to make your life a bit easier. So that could be accounting packages, Xero, QuickBooks, Sage, for example, a CRM system. You're talking about Microsoft Dynamics, Microsoft Teams. You're talking Zoho, okay, HR, there again, HR systems. Okay, you're talking about training, learning and development tools, okay, packages. Okay, you're endpoint security. Okay, you're talking about cyber security, for example. Okay, virus checkers. Okay? Website. Okay, are you using WordPress? Are you using Wix? Are you using Shopify, for example, to reach your customers, to reach your clients? Which is the best platform to be on? Okay, same with social platforms as well, social media platforms. Okay, am I on Facebook? I don't know. Am I on Twitter? Okay, how am I managing my social media, my online presence? Am I using I don't know, HubSpot? Okay, am I using Buffer, for example? Am I using Hootsuite? Okay, how do I get my message across to my clients that are online? Okay, these are all things that you need to address. Okay, and it is quite time consuming, I would say. So here's a nice little chart that you could potentially use. Okay, so you're rating them. Okay, you're looking at your system. Okay, and you're rating them. Okay, and you will change the score as time goes by. So, for example, accounting package, I might be using Sage or thinking about using Sage. So I'm rating it from 1 to 5, 1 being poor, 5 being excellent. Okay, functionality. What will it do? What I want it to do or need it to do? It could be a 3, it could be a 2 there. Okay. User friendliness. Okay, how easy it is for me to use, how easy if I was going to train someone to use it. Okay, then you add up a total score. Okay, so the higher the score, the better, obviously. The lower the score, maybe you can get by with it, but you just need to address it sporadically, per month, per quarter, or twice or 3 times per year. And again, it will evolve. Okay, so functionality. Okay, that could be very high. Okay, that could be you scored it, I don't know, 40 or 45, okay, high marks. As time goes on, as your business evolves, as you grow your business, manage your business, Sage no longer useful. I'm going to use QuickBooks, offers more functions, for example. Okay? So this is something that you'll need to address. Here is where we talk about scaling your venture, knowing when to outsource a particular task. Okay, so it's not reliant on you sort of totally. Okay, so we're talking about key support areas in here. Okay? So we're talking about a virtual assistant if needed. Okay? And we're not just talking about employees, because if you are hiring employees, you've got to register as an employer with HMRC. You got to give them benefits, you got to give them training, you got to give them sick pay, holiday and pay, support there. Okay, so you might want to outsource these services. Okay, these tasks: a virtual assistant, a bookkeeper, an accountant, for example. Okay, a content consultant, SEO, search engine optimization consultant, marketing. You might want to get someone to generate those graphics, that content for yourself. Okay, and you need to get access to a business advisor that will come in, look at the ins and outs of your business, see where the bottlenecks are, see what improvements and savings that you can make, see what investments that can be made within your business, okay, in order to grow your business there. Okay, or that could be a business development manager. You hire them on a subcontractor basis. They will look at the ins and outs of your business and give you suggestions. This is what you can do. This is what you can't do. Okay, so again, knowing when to outsource, knowing when to bring it in-house, or as much as you can do, but you can't do it all at the end of the day. Okay? Again, it all depends on how big your business is. Okay? So this is where we talk about scaling, outsourcing. Okay, try avoiding some common mistakes. Okay, for example, false economies. Okay, so this is an action where you think that saves you money at the beginning, but over a longer period, it might result in you spending more money and wasting. Okay, so for example, yes, I will hire that subcontractor. I have to give them the benefits of an employee. Okay, however, if you hire that subcontractor, that work might be substandard. Okay, they might not be invested in it because they'll move on to another project. With that employee, you get that hopefully long-term factor with them. Okay, they're relying on you for the business to be a success. Okay, so they get a paycheck at the end of the day for them to do their thing. Okay, you need to know when to sort of delegate. Okay, you can't do it all, like I said. Know when to outsource. Know when to give your employee that extra task if they're up to it, for example. Okay? You might want to put service level agreements in place. Okay, so this is an understanding between you and your clients or your customers. Okay, what you expect from them and vice versa as well. Okay, for example, we had service level agreements that we had with our funders back in the day. It was, okay, you need to, just little things such as, okay, you need to answer an email. You need to get back to emails within 48 hours. You need to pick up a call and reply back to them within 24 hours there. Each application shouldn't take longer than 2 weeks to sort out, for example. Okay? These are all things that you are addressing. There are some templates online as well. Okay? And you got to look at the workers' status directive, legal obligations that you need to abide by. Okay? When employing someone, if you're going self-employed, okay? For example, working hours, wage, pay slips, your responsibility to HMRC, to taxes, paying your taxes, okay? filing your accounts with Companies House, for example. These are all things that you sort of looking. So this is just a little summary of what we have gone through at the moment. Okay, so I'm not going to read through this slide here. Okay, you can look back at your own sort of measure once you get a copy of the slides. Okay, again, everything will evolve. Okay, start brainstorming for now. Okay, looking back on the slides, maybe using some of our frameworks, addressing some of the issues that we have discussed today. Okay, so here's just some contact pages. All of this can be found on our website. If you type in Wenta into our website, navigate it, you can get our contact details. You can book that free session with one of our business advisors. You can register for more webinars such as this. Okay, there's an email address and a telephone number there, as well as on our website. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the webinar now. I'm just going to stop sharing. Okay, are there any questions, any queries, anything on anybody's mind? I've just looked at the chat box and there isn't anything. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so again, we've given you a bit of food for thought. Okay, there's only so much we can cover in this 1 hour session. Okay? If after re-looking at the recording, re-looking at the slides, you feel, oh, okay, maybe I need to address this, maybe I need to discuss this a bit more. It made sense when I was listening to the webinar. It may not have made sense when I was listening to the webinar. Now I want to speak to a business advisor just to go over it in a bit more sort of detail. Okay, you can do that. Again, please do book in a free session with one of our business advisors. We can go over anything that you want to go over in a lot more sort of detail there. Okay, so yeah, some interesting things. Great, fantastic. Okay, franchising as well. Yeah, so please do book in a session with one of our business advisors. Okay, franchising is something where we can sort of discuss there. There's lots of things to take into consideration when franchising. Okay, so if you want to take a franchise, okay, so again, you're looking at what the agreements are. Okay, it all depends on what franchises you're operating in. So I worked with one sort of recently who was going to be a nursery, a babysitter. Okay, and they were guaranteed by the franchisor that there would not be another babysitter, but licensed by them, obviously, within a 5-mile radius of them. Okay, so these are little things that you need to look into, but they need to pay them a management fee each month of £2,000 per month. Okay, they'll get access to their materials. They can rely on them for HR, for support services, for example. Okay, so there's many things that you need to look into when looking at a franchise. Okay, look at the McDonald's franchise model. Okay, see how that compares. Okay, again, you'll need to invest a certain amount in order to get match funding from them. You'll get all their stock from McDonald's. You get all their marketing from McDonald's. You have to follow their rules, their procedures, their regulations. Okay, you might hire people. Okay, the manager, shop front workers, there, but it needs to be in line with McDonald's practices. Okay, so again, don't be afraid of certain things. Explore it. Okay, go out, do the research. Yeah. Okay? There are other possibilities. Are there other possibilities somehow? Austin just said there's always possibilities. Okay, again, but not all of them will work out. Okay, go out, do the research. Okay, speak to a business advisor. Okay, by no means are we financial experts. Are we accountants, financial advisors? We are just general business advisors. We can give you a bit of food for thought. Okay, and maybe address certain issues that maybe you never thought about before. Give you a bit of guidance of which area to go down. Okay, so it's just a discussion, a bit of a soundboard, just to make sure that you are on the right track there. Okay, so hopefully that covers everything for now. Okay, but like I said, please do book in on that session, okay, with a business advisor via online there. Okay, so thank you everybody, thank you for your time. Okay, good afternoon now as we've gone over sort of 12. Okay, hope you found it useful. All right, thank you everybody for your time. Okay, cheers everybody. You will get a copy of the slide. You will get a link to the recording as well. And like I said, please do look out for it in your junk inbox in case it goes in there. All right, cheers everybody. Thank you for your time. All right, bye now. Cheers.